Millennials are so crappy.
It's the worst.
They're
Everybody
just
is, though.
terrible.
Entitled.
Smell bad.
They just stare at their phones all the time.
Just awful.
Okay, there's some things that really do stink.
Yeah.
Did you see the irony?
I think that people think the millennials are the worst just because we see it on the internet all the time. Like, reason why millennials aren't getting married, reason why millennials break up with each other, reason why millennials are making the economy suck, reason why millennials suck. It's like article.
Did you see that video? Did you see that video of that blonde girl in her car who had the phone and she was just ragging? I was just like, what is this video? You're trashing on your own generation. Like we're worse. I'm sorry, folks. I'm gonna start ranting. You gotta hold me back this time, all right? I'm gonna like,
no,
hold him back. Hold him back.
Anyway, we do have this idea that people owe us things.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying all of us, but a lot of us have a lack of regard for morals or a lack of regard for tradition, and not just tradition to things that are meaningless, but tradition for things that
Traditional
are
values.
important for, a country, for a society to thrive.
And I think it can affect our spirituality. When we think we can just take out fundamentals, that kind of means we can just take out doctrine.
Yeah.
And when people start doing that, it's like taking out religion, which kind of fuels a society in a way where people have values to work hard, to serve others, to praise, good things. And so once you start taking away traditions and values like that, you're going to start taking away other things it's just going to make society kind of fall down a little bit.
The rise of secularism is it's a rough spot on millennials because religion is very important, spirituality is very important for a society, and if we don't have those things, we will slowly cease to have the goal of what a society should be. We'll become, I think, far more selfish, far more prideful.
We're going to stop helping other people.
Stop helping us. The family unit will break. Everything will become...
It'd be exactly like if we got rid of Walmart.
You see, it's like...
No, really, though.
No.
If we got rid of Walmart, like, people would start to hate each other, and, like, all things would crumble if Walmart
This is
was
what Shelley thinks about right before she goes to bed. Okay, Shelley, is chivalry dead?
Yes.
Okay, wow.
Wasn't chivalry a thing where it was like, I will kill you if you do something to me?
It's a medieval battle code.
Yes.
It's not, it has like two things about being nice to women. The rest are like, how to properly cut your enemy's head off. That's what
chivalry is, but people now are like, how to properly cut your head off, but also open the door for him while he falls through the door.
So, opening the door for people, though, I have noticed there are some guys who will open the door for women, and there are some guys who will only open the door for women they are interested in kissing later. That was a weird way to say that.
Too many dates.
Too many dates. I think that's a millennial thing, personally, because I've seen older men when I'm like on a subway train or if I'm getting on a bus or if I'm going into a building in like downtown Salt Lake or something, older men will open doors for me and they don't know me. They've never seen me before. Yeah. They'll open the door and let me get on the bus first or whatever.
So kind.
But the guys my own age who look like millennials, they won't do that.
And here's something I'm very passionate about. And I'm sorry if I'm
opening doors for people?
No.
You should be passionate about opening doors for women.
If I'm going on a date, I will not open the car door for her. I find it weird.
Wait, like when she gets in the car?
Like gets out or in.
Out is weird, but in is normal. And you should do that if you want women to like you.
Strange.
That's not weird.
No, it's not.
I had one date where she made me do it. I wasn't doing it. She was waiting. I was like, oh, and she opened the door. She goes, finally.
What does someone say to like make you open the door for them? They just go.
It was our first date.
That actually exactly.
It was our first date, so. But we kissed at the end, so I won.
Where is she right now? Did you really win?
I'm not gonna say her name.
Did you really win?
I won. I won.
Nope, because she's not dating her right now. Therefore, you didn't win. You didn't get the prize.
I think that women are a lot more than just an object, and you can't win them. You have to cherish them. So, seriously, with your patriarchal ideas that women have to be won and conquered, it's so old.
Am I allowed to stab him? Just really fast?
No. So we're talking about all these reasons why millennials stink, right? And what people are seeing from the outside. But let's talk about why we're just awesome and why we rule the world. We don't rule the world.
We don't rule the world.
One day we will.
One day.
One day when Kwaku's president.
There's nothing they can do about it.
Who's they?
One of the most important things about why millennials are great, why we rock, and why I honestly think we're a little better than the previous generations. And I'm gonna say that. One, especially regarding Latter-day Saints, we have a duty to carry out the gospel to the world. We have to reach, all nations, kindreds, tongues, and people.
Ooh.
So we have...
Are you saying other people don't have that duty, we just do?
No, every generation has it, but each one kind of has a bigger duty, than the last.
Kind of like a sub-duty.
No, Okay, don't stop laughing at the word duty. So I want you to remember.
You're young. you're,
You said
you're people in
a
your
bigger
slang.
duty. You said a sub.
The sub-duty is the one that goes under
Okay, no. Makes Latter-day...
Shelley.
I'm sorry.
She's emotional about duties and what she has to do.
She's crying at the word duty. You're 21. You're about to get married and you're laughing at the word duty.
It's like a button. I just push the button and she just starts laughing.
Hey, you keep talking about
so
millennials.
Millennials are immature.
No,
Yeah, we are.
But okay, I was gonna say to carry the gospel to all around the world is very important, and to really empathize with other people and to connect with other cultures. You can't be a bigot or you can't be prejudiced, and millennials have a lot less of that infiltrating us than previous generations.
Yeah.
Which is why I think when President Nelson said this, "True millennials are perfect for you." If that term reminds you of who you really are and what your purpose in life really is. A true millennial is one who was taught and did teach the gospel of Jesus Christ premortally, who made covenants with our Heavenly Father there about courageous things, even morally courageous things that you would do while here on earth. So God did place us at this time.
Elder Nelson
We were
bringing
taught-
it in clutch.
Oh yeah, we were taught the gospel in heaven before. We were placed here on this time, partially, I think, of course, to bring about the gospel, to do a lot of good. We do have a lot of work to clean up from previous generations. That's just every generation has
Every
to
generation
clean up
has
the
that
work.
same situation.
And just because we're young doesn't mean that we should be discredited. All revolutions have started with young people. The founding fathers were our age when they did that,
Wait, really?
Yes.
Thomas Jefferson was a young lad when he wrote
How
the Declaration.
young?
George Washington started surveying land when he was like 14 or something,
Really?
Yeah, our age group really wants to revolutionize the world, and sometimes that ends up with opinion vomit on my Facebook feed, and sometimes that ends up with really solid stuff, like really good points that I really want to hear. But sometimes millennials need to understand that just because you heard someone that someone else said and they heard it from another person doesn't mean that it's now your own opinion and you've created that idea. I think revolutions start with organic opinions. I think revolutions start with people who are inspired to do good things. And that's why Russell Nelson said...
President Russell M. Nelson.
President Russell M. Nelson.
Yep.
So many titles.
President of the Quorum of the 12.
President of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, Russell M. Nelson, who used to be a surgeon before he was an apostle. So many titles. He really wanted us to know that we were taught good principles before we were born by Heavenly Father himself. And now that we are on earth, we need to teach those good principles again and receive the revelation and the inspiration that we were taught before we were born.
If millennials all allowed ourselves to be paired with the Spirit, we would be just a triumphant, magnificent generation. And that's what we need to do.
Unstoppable force of good.
And we're already doing so much good. Truly, I think millennials are a great generation. We do sometimes take that fury and put it to stuff that is not good.
The Spirit quickeneth all things. It says it in Doctrine and Covenants. So if, like Kwaku said, you pair yourself with the Spirit, you will get things done.
Yes, without a doubt. That's the promise.
Millennials, live above the stereotype. Don't just fall into that category, because there are plenty of us that are lazy, don't want to work, and feel the E word, entitled. Yeah, we feel like we just deserve things without work. And that is a serious epidemic that is rushing through the blood of our society, and I think that needs to stop, and it begins with yourself. The Spirit quickeneth all things. I just love that.
Scripture, though.
Beautiful.
It's just so good. No, not even that. It's just Kwaku saying, when you pair yourself with the Spirit, you will only have revelation from God. Like that just makes sense.
We have a lot of opinions about why millennials suck and why they're great and why everything is wonderful. So you should tell us what you think about those things in the comments below, and like it and share it.
Subscribe right here. Press
there,
that button.
right at the bottom.
This button.
But then there's also these little social media things that you should also click. 1, 2, 3. Also, George Washington was an ambassador at 21 from the British Crown to deal with the French people in the French Millennial War. I'm not saying he wasn't a surveyor.
He also did survey land. So
Nobody cares.
he was a man of many.
Oh, nobody cares.
He's on the quarter. Woo. And is he on the quarter? That's really bad if he's not on the quarter.
He's on the court.